An indefinite freeze on processing immigration applications has thousands of Ukrainian refugees living in Florida, including the hundreds here in Jacksonville, feeling nervous about their legal immigration status.
There are people who have applied for this temporary protected status, and now that's frozen. And so once their Unite for Ukraine sponsorship time runs out, which is very soon for a lot of these people, they suddenly have no legal status here.
The Trump administration says the immigration freeze is in place so government officials can work to identify fraud. The administration also says this will lead to an enhanced immigration vetting process to assure public safety.
This freeze affects Ukrainian refugees who came to America under the Unite for Ukraine program and Ukrainian immigrants who are seeking extensions for temporary protective status. News4Jax reporter Eric Avni explains why those immigrants who are legally in the country could soon be forced to leave.
A woman we will only identify as Irina is one of hundreds of Ukrainian refugees who were legally allowed to come to Jacksonville after Russia invaded Ukraine. The woman she is walking with is Valentina Carroll, a first-generation Ukrainian American who volunteers at a local church that services Ukrainian refugees. Carroll and her family are Irina's sponsors. They say things were going fine until the U.S. indefinitely froze immigration applications for Ukrainians.
What's going through your mind as you pay close attention to everything that's going on with this immigration freeze?
Very afraid, her and her family, they're all very afraid and very nervous because they're seeking refuge in America. This is where they are experiencing safety, and they don't know what is waiting for them back in Ukraine.
This is what Irina is afraid to go back to, a war-torn area where they're still fighting and bloodshed, the very thing she tried to get away from.
Are you afraid you may get kicked out of the United States if this continues on?
Yes.
Carroll is just as worried because she has formed friendships with other refugees she met while volunteering at her church, friends whose authorization to remain in the U.S. will expire under an indefinite freeze that doesn't allow them to renew their legal immigration status.
Even though they've done everything right, they have tried to apply for these statuses and these programs, all of a sudden they are basically undocumented and they don't have that status.
Which makes them eligible to be kicked out of the country.
Absolutely. They would have to leave America and, potentially go back to this war zone in Ukraine.
Dmytro Boshko is also worried about fellow Ukrainians here in Florida, who right now can't apply to stay longer in the U.S. He migrated here before Russia invaded his home city in Ukraine.
When you think about that, and you know how many people came here trying to get away from a bad situation, how does that make you feel?
It feels like betrayal. Just a quick comment, I have a green card. I'm a green card holder, not a citizen yet, but I'm on the way, I hope. And, it feels like betrayal because people, trusted. People trusted the government of United States. They came here not voluntarily. They came here because they were pushed out.
And now they may find themselves being pushed out once again, but this time by the country that took them in. Eric Avni, Channel 4, the local station.
Once you try a comfort hoodie, you can't